Two, not enough.
Dear Mr. Massa, I'm just trying to mind my own business. What's the matter? It's just another day, another black king captured. I'm about to lose my brain, stuck inside this ghetto rapture. I got a lot of smoke. If you want it, you can have it. They want a hat trick, but this is black girl magic. Ain't talking about the kind that'll make you disappear, but I'm talking about the power of the melanin within. Ain't looking for trouble, but I'ma say this one time. I put two dukes up if you try to touch mine. We still want justice for Samir and Trayvon. You say you don't see color, but racism ain't blind. They targeting little kids whose skin look just like mine. So I'm paranoid, it's a war zone outside. And I'm a black queen, so if you ask me to step out of my car, you gon' have to snatch me. Cause I ain't going no damn well. Had to spend my whole life living unfair. Ancestors got my back and they right here. You can never understand, it's a nightmare. Living in my black shoes by the black rules. You can keep your handshake, I don't dap coon. The white man that go nuts if he can't shoot. But you all on his side like a damn fool. Make it make sense.
We are oppressed.
Queen.
We are exploited. We are downtrodden.
Make it make
We are
sense.
denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
Ahmadiyyah.
So the only way we're going to get some of this
Ahmadiyyah.
oppression and exploitation
Queen.
away from us or aside from us is come together
Queens.
against the common enemy. Who taught you to hate the texture of your
Ahmadiyyah.
hair? Who taught you to hate the color of your skin?
Ahmadiyyah.
Parents, pay attention to the books, the school system, even to your little children. Lies mixed with wisdom. His skin too bright, so he was blind to the prison. My skin just right, so I collide with division. You trying to pray to God, but we tired of religion. No savior saving, we got to save our savings. We used to pay miss, how we gon' make the slave rich? But who's to blame, and tell me why you complaining? We need a team effort just to rule the nation. Like a bad relationship, missing communication. We missing moderation. They trying to get a poison to my population. No reparations. I'm getting tired of Satan.
We are oppressed.
I'm
Queen.
getting tired of waiting.
We are downtrodden.
Queen.
We are denied not only civil rights, but even human rights.
Ahmadiyyah.
We get some of this
Ahmadiyyah.
oppression and exploitation.
All right. Hello, everyone. Grand Rising. Thanks for tuning back in once again to the original Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur show. I'm your host, Queen Ahmadiyyah Shakur, and this is your morning wake-up call. So as you're coming in, please feel free to go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell and click the word all so you're notified each time the Queen Goddess goes live. All right. Hello, Claudette, Trisha, Cookie, Mr. Elevation, 57 Beige Fox. All right, let's get into it. That Crazy Beach Aries, Nessie X is here. All right, and Lisa Jones, okay. Woman of Valor. All right, let's get into it. Greta Lee, Cherokee Descendant Dale. All right, Century Prophetic Bastard is in the virtual building. G from the Land, Truth Brown. All right, Angie, I see you, beloved. Okay, so shout out. Hey, Quiet Storm. All right. So shout out to all of my loyal royals and everyone tuned into the Queen. And a big shout out to my moderators because y'all know they be putting in work. I see you. Just Anticipate, Andrea, Leon. All right. So before we get started, let's have a brief word from my sponsor. I see you, Dr. T. Let's have a brief word from my sponsor at 12 Tribes. I see you, Danielle. Okay, let's get it popping. Here we go.
Do not buy 12 Tribes on Earth hair growth oil and hair magic elixir unless you want super healthy, gorgeous hair that grows. They have a whole line of amazing hair growth products, including hair growth leave-in conditioner spray, hair growth shampoo, hair growth spray, and hair growth butter. I'm starting to sense a theme here. They include quality natural ingredients. They smell amazing, and you can see the results for yourself. So if you're looking for healthy hair growth for your natural or relaxed hair, try 12 Tribes on Earth today.
All right. So don't forget, you can purchase 12 Tribes hair oil at Etsy.com. Just look for Lisa Crafts. You can also find it at Walmart.com. And don't forget about the sale July the 4th, okay, in a couple of days. And also, she sells beard oil. Okay, so now that all been said, let's get ready to get black into it. Let's get into it now. We're going to listen to some enhanced audio, but before we do, hold on, let me pull up these videos real quick. Let me put these on the screen. Likes up, everyone, please. Don't forget to like and share. Thank you in advance.
What if I told you there was one?
Okay, so we're going to get into that in just a second. Now, we've all seen the video where Hunter, both of the videos, basically where Hunter admitted that he was there. Okay, and then, these people said that Hunter was not even there. He was on the phone. I mean, they had all of these excuses. And we know, quite frankly, at this point that the witnesses, of course, they lied. Okay, they didn't say anything about punches being thrown. And we clearly know that we saw punches being thrown. So we're going to look at some of that footage. Okay, and just a couple of clips. And then we're also going to go back to what Hunter said, because there's something that I didn't notice that Hunter said. Remember when I pointed out to you all that Hunter said it was a mistake? Now, it sounded to me like he said the dude made a mistake talking about Karmelo. That's what I thought. But someone pointed out that he actually said that he himself made a mistake. Okay, so we're going to listen to it, and you all tell me what you think. Okay, let's get into it.
Consistency in the Karmelo Anthony case. That probably could have kept him out of prison. Check it out.
Second, Austin's identical brother, Hunter, the target really of a lot of online hate, was not involved in the confrontation between his brother and Karmelo Anthony. He wasn't even by there. He was on the phone, according to one witness. Witnesses, mind you, all friends of the victim in this case, all testified the same thing. No one ganged up on Karmelo Anthony. He provoked the victim, they say, and he's the one who created this problem.
So it was a really bad storm in the morning, and they had a lot of delays. And me and my brother, a couple of kids were walking back from the field house of the middle school, because we attended that middle school when we went to middle school, and we were saying hello to old coaches and catching up with them. And then we're walking back to our stand. We put our tent up so all the bleachers were right there. We're not wet from all the rain. We come back, we sit down, and this kid said something behind me.
Hold on. I just caught something. I want you all to pay attention that he said they were walking back from the middle school. Now, I didn't pay attention to that at first. It really wasn't really anything that I really caught on to or paid attention to, because it seemed kind of irrelevant. But now that we know, or that we've been told, that they were at the middle school harassing a girl from Emerson High. Okay, so now he puts himself there at the middle school. I want you to pay attention. Okay, and that's why his mother was supposedly able to beat the ambulance to the hospital, because she had been called by administrators to the school because he and Hunter, or he and Austin, had been supposedly bullying someone. Okay, but let's continue.
I've never met this kid in my entire life, never knew who he was. Said something just inappropriate and uncalled for, and I turned around and asked him who he was. He started getting really aggressive. My brother stepped in. He started being, how he always is with me, just brothers, just having my back. And things started getting more higher intensity. And the kid said some aggressive stuff, reckless stuff, and also tried to handle the problem. And
Did you catch it? Did you catch the inconsistencies? No? All right, hold on. Now, I got the video right here on 3x zoom. Let's see what we can see right here. Now here, Karmelo was already under the tent, and so are the Metcalfs. The argument starts. And as you can see, there are multiple people back there around Karmelo. It's not just Austin standing there. From what I can tell, there's at least two. I see one stationary. I see one moving back and forth. You see one who looks like he has his arm extended. You still see the other one moving. You see him move back and forth? Look, he comes back up. He's gonna walk back. There he is, walking back. You see the one still standing there. Still over here moving to the left. Then watch, he's gonna make an abrupt pushes. Get stabbed. Karmelo pops out the back. Did you guys catch the inconsistencies that time? right. So in the witness testimonies, they're saying Hunter had nothing to do with it. He was talking on his phone. Now, in Hunter's own statement in 2025, he was the aggressor, not Austin. Austin had Hunter's back. They testified in court. Hunter had nothing to do with it. Hunter was on the phone. It was all Austin, remember? It looks like in that video, though, there was more than one. They were both back there. This is what's going on right now. They're covering for Hunter because Hunter should be facing an assault charge. Yes, Hunter should be facing an assault charge. Karmelo Anthony's conviction does not erase an assault charge for Hunter.
If the evidence in a case showed that one person intentionally initiated unwanted physical contact, such as a shove, the shove was not legally justified. For example, it was not in lawful self-defense or another recognized legal justification, and there was sufficient evidence to prove that beyond a reasonable doubt, then there would generally be a legal basis for prosecutors to consider an assault charge, or whatever the equivalent offense is under that state's law. That conclusion is separate from any later questions about whether the person who was shoved was legally justified in responding with force. The legality of the initial shove and the legality of the later response are analyzed independently.
Now, Hunter facing an assault charge could be elevated to felony murder. Yes, felony murder.
Didn't I tell you all that? I told you all that before. Okay, I told you all that before that Hunter, I told you all that in 2025. In 2025, I told you all that. I said the brother should have been arrested too. If there was an assault going on and then someone loses their life, then he also is equally responsible and should be arrested. At the time, we didn't know that he was the one that started it. Okay, we thought his brother did, but let's continue.
This is why Karmelo Anthony got railroaded.
Yes, it's possible in theory, but it depends on facts that prosecutors could prove, and on the specific Texas statutes. Those are three different levels of liability. 1. Assault, misdemeanor, or felony depending on the circumstances. If the allegation were simply that Hunter unlawfully shoved Karmelo, prosecutors could consider an assault charge if they believe they could prove the elements. 2. Aggravated assault. An ordinary shove does not automatically become aggravated assault. In Texas, aggravated assault generally requires either causing serious bodily injury or using or exhibiting a deadly weapon during the assault. Based only on a shove, aggravated assault would generally be a much harder charge to support unless additional facts fit the statute. 3. Felony murder. This is where things become much more fact-specific. Under Texas law, felony murder generally requires that someone commits or attempts to commit a felony, other than manslaughter, and in the course of or in furtherance of that felony, someone dies. If the underlying offense is only misdemeanor assault, that ordinarily would not satisfy the felony murder rule, because the predicate offense has to be a qualifying felony. So, based only on the hypothetical that someone unlawfully shoved another person. Assault. Potentially, yes. Aggravated assault. Not necessarily. It would depend on additional facts. Felony murder. Not based solely on a misdemeanor shove.
Put a one in the chat if you see them. Do y'all see? Put a one in the chat if you see them. Do y'all see the punches? Is it clear now? Do y'all see the punches?
Now, can we all agree? Put a 1 in the chat if you agree. Can we all agree that we see punches being thrown? Okay, now if you don't see punches being thrown, then put a 2. But if you see punches being thrown, okay, doesn't matter who they're being thrown at, but if you see punches being thrown, put a 1 in the chat. Because the witnesses, this is further proof the witnesses lied. None of them said anything about punches being thrown back and forth. None of them said that Hunter was right there and that he was the aggressor, that he instigated the whole thing, that he was the first one to get up in Melo's face. They didn't say any of that, so they lied. Okay, they not only verbally lied on the stand and changed their stories from previously, but they also lied by omission. There were many details and things that they did not say. Okay, so everyone is seeing that there's punches being thrown. Thank you. But the wanton supremacists who just don't want to face the truth and don't care about facts will sit here and say that we're all just making it up.
They're punching back and forth on Karmelo. Put a 1 in the chat if y'all see them punching.
And you can tell that they're punching on Karmelo, and I'm going to tell you how you can tell. Because first of all, and here's how you know Karmelo was jumped. Because first of all, you can't even see Karmelo. You can only see the people in black. Okay? You can only see the people in black, and that's because they were standing the whole time. They were never sitting down. They were standing. From the moment they arrived and got up in his face, they were standing. Karmelo was sitting down the whole time. Okay? So this is why when they're punching, notice they're punching downward. All right, please pay attention. Hey, the lies that these people told.
Karmelo. Do y'all see the arms now? Swinging and punching Karmelo. Yes, it happened quick, but there were people on both sides of Karmelo wailing on him while he was in the middle. I'm going back and forth so y'all can see it. Carmelo's body is still sitting down. Do y'all see him in the middle? They're punching him in the middle. Right? I'm going back and forth so y'all can see this. Yes, it happened quick, but this is what happened.
Pam says that the father also, they're saying the father sold the judge his house when he was in real estate. He even has a commercial bragging about his connections. I'm sure he did. Those people all knew each other. I'll show you something else in just a moment. Absolutely. That is no surprise.
No Austin. My kids know Hunter. They've been over, both kids have been over to my house many, many times. If when he was alive, I didn't necessarily like Austin. that guy was he was a little shit starter. He wasn't a bully, but he would, he was in fights.
I would go as far to say
Hunter said
He's a good kid. We just found a little altercation, and that's really it. But he has a good heart. Everyone knows. Everyone around here knows he's a great kid. He just one mistake from that dude, and just took my brother. He didn't deserve it.
Now, listen. A lot of people don't want to hear this, but Hunter implicates himself in this altercation. You guys, what did he say? He said we. He specifically said, we got into a little altercation. What does that mean, you guys? He then also tells his father all the intricate details of the event. What does that mean to me? As an officer, as an investigator, that means to me that you had a level of involvement. When you said we were involved in an altercation, my question now to you, Hunter, as an investigator, is what role did you play? What did you say? What did you do in that moment? Where were you when your brother stood up and he pushed? Listen, you guys, this gets tricky. Why do I say that? Because what you don't understand about self-defense, it's not about what you think. It's about what the person who's using self-defense thinks. Their perception is their reality. And if you create a scenario that makes me believe that it's 2 against 1, you've changed the dynamics of this situation, you guys. That matters. What else matters when we talk about self-defense? Well, let's talk about it. Let's go into the topic of self-defense.
Now, that dude, if you all remember, that's Nathan Daly. He's a former police officer, retired. I had him on the show a couple of times in the past. But hold on, because let's talk about why Hunter should, in fact, be in jail, why he should have been arrested, just like they said. Okay, so under the felony murder rule, accomplices and participants can be charged with murder and held criminally responsible for a death, even if they did not physically kill anyone or intend for a death to occur. Now, if someone dies during the commission of an inherently dangerous or violent felony, such as a robbery, burglary, or kidnapping, the law generally treats all participants as legally responsible for the fatal outcome. This means that getaway drivers, lookouts, and planners can face the same severe murder charges as the person who directly caused the death. Now, in jurisdictions that follow the approximate case theory, or that approximate case theory, defendants can be held liable for any foreseeable death that occurs as a result of the crime. This even includes cases where an accomplice is killed by a police officer or a victim defending themselves. Now, however, laws and applications vary significantly by jurisdiction. States define the specific qualifying crimes differently, and some have reformed their laws to require some direct culpability in recent years. Now, if someone dies during a just an assault scenario, the criminal is still held legally responsible for the death. Okay, but the specific charges depend heavily on how the law classifies the assault and the jurisdiction in which it happened. For simple assault, which would be a misdemeanor. Now, in a misdemeanor or a minor physical altercation, like a single punch or a scuffle, unexpectedly, if that results in a death, okay, i.e., if the victim falls, hits their head on the pavement, or some way dies, the charge is usually involuntary manslaughter. Okay, so at the very least, Hunter could have been charged with that. The misdemeanor manslaughter rule. Many states use this doctrine to hold someone accountable for an unintended killing that happens during the commission of a misdemeanor. Okay, so he could have gotten hit with a misdemeanor. Involuntary manslaughter charge. Lack of intent. The prosecutor does not need to prove that the attacker wanted to kill the victim, only that they intended to commit the unlawful assault, which is exactly what Hunter did. This is a whole cover-up, and that is why. That is exactly why they did all of this, in my opinion. And I told you all from day one that Hunter's behind should have been arrested. Okay? Absolutely nefarious. But hold on, let's go to this clip about the DA's wife. Okay, DA Greg Willis, his wife Jill Willis. Let's get into it. Likes up, everyone, please. Like and share. Thank you in advance. Hold on, let me just delete that.
Sam here with a Karmelo Anthony update. And here's something that you can classify under things that make you go, all right? This is all allegedly, of course. But Jill Willis, who is the wife of the DA Greg Willis in the Karmelo Anthony case, also handled the divorce of Jeff and Megan Metcalf. Let me read this. It says, type, divorce with children in the matter of the marriage of Jeffrey Charles Metcalf and Megan Lee Metcalf, and in the interest of Austin Matthew Metcalf and Hunter Michael Metcalf. The judicial officer, Jill Renfro Willis, in the 429th District Court, file date 7/28/2014, status closed. Now, I'm not sure if she was the judge, if she was a lawyer, but this ties her to the case. This makes this water much muddier than it was before. Again, this is all alleged. I'm just bringing this stuff out for you guys to check out, do more research, help me out. I am no detective. I am a comedian journalist, just doing my best to shed the light. I will always do my best to expose the lies behind the headlines on the front lines for you. Secret Service Sam out, Samson for president.
Okay, so good work, Sam. All right, that was good work. Now, with that all being said, the next thing I want to go to is the assistant DA, Bill Werski, did an interview. And I have not watched this interview. I didn't even know he did it. This is 3 weeks ago. So I'm behind the wheel on this one. I didn't even see this. I did see the judge, and I also read what Mike Howard said to TMZ. But I just found this last night. So let's listen to this. Collin County prosecutor speaks after successful conviction of Karmelo Anthony. Don't you all find it interesting how all of these people are going on the news? You all don't find that interesting how there's so much media, like this whole tour that they've gone on. You had the judge come out, Mike Howard, the defense attorney, has spoken, and then you have the prosecutor. Okay, I find that interesting. And then, of course, the parents, and specifically Jeff Metcalf, going on this whole press run. This is very interesting. And that's because they're trying to paint and create the narrative. Well, not paint. They've already painted the narrative, but they're trying to continuously control the narrative. Okay, that's right. Mad Love says they have to control the narrative. That's exactly what it is, as well as the media propaganda, Christopher. You're absolutely right. Okay, so now let's go to this interview. Pearlie said, very suspicious. Okay. Likes up, everyone. Please don't forget to like and share. Thank you in advance.
He is in the Collin County Jail tonight after a jury found him guilty of murdering Austin Metcalf at a high school track meet.
He was sentenced to 35 years in prison, but his attorneys just filed a notice of appeal, the first step in a long process to possibly reduce his sentence.
Jobin Paniker just sat down with the prosecutor who breaks down the method used for jury selection to the closing arguments.
It is the day after one of the most high-profile Collin County trials has ended. Bill Werski is the prosecutor who successfully argued Karmelo Anthony should be convicted of murder.
Do you think Karmelo Anthony intended to kill Austin Metcalf? That's a great question, and you'd have to ask him, but I know he intentionally plunged the knife into Austin Metcalf's chest.
Now, I want you all to pay attention to what he just said, how he just answered that question. Do you think Karmelo Anthony intended to kill Austin Metcalf? I don't know. You'd have to ask him that. But what I do know is that he intentionally plunged the knife into Austin Metcalf's chest. So that would mean yes. First of all, he doesn't know that. He doesn't know that. You see, none of us know Karmelo's intentions because we've not heard from Karmelo. He didn't get to testify because his attorney advised him not to. Okay, that's for number one. And let's not forget that Karmelo is the only like 19 years old. So what does he know? If his attorney tells him something, that's what he's going to do. And clearly his parents wouldn't tell him any different. Now, with that being said, if he says, I don't know, but then turns around and says, but what I do know is that he plunged that knife into Austin Metcalf's chest. I want you to listen to the word that he used. It's just like the other night. Remember when I told you guys that I was on that TikTok panel and that woman said that she tried to paint Karmelo as such a monster, and she said you could tell from the autopsy that he just plunged that knife so hard and so savagely into Austin's chest. And we were like, how do you know that? She's like, from the autopsy report. We're like, when did you see the autopsy report? Well, from what they were saying in court. When did they say any of that in court? They're using these inflammatory words to make it sound so diabolical, like he's some cold-blooded murderer, like he's Jason, in fact, from Friday the 13th, or Freddy, or something like that. He plunged, intentionally plunged. What is a plunge? Okay? Now, did Karmelo plunge the knife into his chest? I don't think so. Okay, because if he had plunged it, that means there was force and velocity. And so when you do that, then it's going to go deeply into the person's chest, could even become embedded. Okay, with that little knife, 3.5 inches, you would have to use a huge amount of force to plunge it. But we know that there was not a lot of force behind it because the wound was only 2.5 inches and the knife is 3.5 inches. So there was no plunge. Okay, I just want you all to pay attention. But let's continue. These people paint the best of narratives. That's what they do. They're very crafty.
The state put on 21 witnesses, 3 days of testimony, but there were 2 people we did not hear from.
He's like, make me move.
Bill tells us they did not want to put Austin Metcalf's twin brother, Hunter, on the stand because it would be traumatizing.
We were actually looking forward to see what Karmelo Anthony would have to say. And, unfortunately, he chose not to talk.
The defense argued self-defense, no surprise to the state. Bill says the team chose their words in opening and closing arguments carefully, like provoked and senseless.
If you provoke someone and then hurt them as a result of that, you don't get to claim self-defense.
There is already...
Notice they said that they chose their words very carefully, like provoked and senseless. Okay, because that makes it sound much more nefarious. Now, this is a good one. Guilty till innocent said, it's hard to use that amount of force when someone is so close to you. Exactly, because you don't have room to plunge. Okay, you would need force to do that, and you need a little bit of distance at least to do so. And that would also explain why the cuts was not so deep because there really was not a lot of room. And that also shows that the intentions, this is just my opinion, that it shows the intentions were not to kill him. If he was trying to kill him, he would have stuck him more than once. Okay, 9 times out of 10. And then another thing is, they didn't bring the tool that was used into the court. Now, why didn't they do that? That's what makes me really think that the tool that was used wasn't even the one that Karmelo had, that it was the one that was thrown in that trash can and then someone later went and retrieved it. Now, that's just my opinion, because for whatever reason, they put something in that trash can, and for another reason, they didn't bring the tool that was used to kill Austin into the courtroom. Now, if that was what was used and Karmelo's the one who used it, don't you all think they would have absolutely brought it into the courtroom? And then allegedly, the detective, the officer who testified, said that he didn't bring it because he didn't have gloves. Since when don't police have gloves? And evidence is bagged and tagged. So it's not like it was just sitting out there. It was in something, okay, something protective. And why wouldn't he have gloves? Police officers keep gloves on them at all times in their cruisers and everything, because when they're searching people, stop and frisk or whatever, okay, or they pull someone over and they have to search you, they will put on gloves because they don't want to get stuck on anything that's in your pocket. They don't want to get any sort of residue on them. So very often they will use gloves. So you mean to tell me that that's the only excuse they gave because he didn't have gloves? Make that make sense. But let's continue.
A notice of appeal, defense attorney Mike Howard writes, "We believe there are several important issues for the appellate courts to consider. An appeal is the next part of the legal process and a right afforded every American." We asked the state their reasoning for dismissing the 3 potential jurors who identified as African American. Bill says he can't talk about it, but also says,
We don't strike people for no reason.
We're not guilty of murder. What? Murder. He's guilty of murder.
there are murder.
Now, don't you all find that interesting? Don't you all find that interesting that he wouldn't talk about it and the case is over? You know why he doesn't want to talk about it? Because he knows Karmelo's filed for an appeal. Okay, and he doesn't want to do anything to help that. He also doesn't want to do anything to trip himself up. Okay, but now, if you were literally just struck those people because they were educators, as has been reported, why couldn't he just say that? Maybe he thought there would be follow-up questions and he didn't want to answer any of them. But there's some reason that he specifically didn't want to answer that. Okay, please pay attention.
Trials that happen every day in this courthouse, but none are like this one.
He wanted to defend himself.
The narratives, the noise, all rendered secondary by a decision from a jury of 12.
It's a lengthy prison sentence, and I think Collin County is safer and stronger because we work the process.
How are they safer? They're acting like Karmelo was going around harassing and threatening people and just being a whole menace, okay, to the entire area. It's safer because Karmelo's in prison, really? I'm sure that it still has a huge amount of crime, or however much. Well, they don't have a huge amount of crime there, but I'm sure it has just the same amount that they had previously. Okay, please pay attention.
In Collin County, I'm Jobin Paniker.
Just to let you know, we did reach out to Karmelo Anthony's defense team to see if they would be open to speaking with us today. They're not ready to speak at this time.
See this scratch?
Well, that's no shock there. I wouldn't expect that Mike Howard would want to get on camera. Okay, I wouldn't expect that he would want to get on camera, probably afraid of what sort of questions he would be asked. But hold on, I want to go to this video. I'm going to have to use an overlay because I don't have permission to use this. Likes up, everyone, please like and share. Thank you in advance. Now, in this video, they play an enhanced audio. Okay, so let's get ready to get into it. Now, this is on real life production, so shout out to them. I'm going to start around the 18-minute mark. We're just going to listen to them chop it up for a few minutes, and then we're going to go to the part where the audio has been enhanced. And that was done on another channel. I think the gentleman's name is Breezy, but they actually use his video.
State to see what Gucci Man, like, how he formulated any kind of fear, because
Shout out to real
name is the Mevcanians. They are a wild bunch, and I've never experienced white supremacy until this situation where I had to get my number changed. I couldn't even be in my house for about 5 to 7 days because being doxxed, your personal information for speaking the truth. But I'm not going to stop speaking it, because that's the only way we make change, and we have change. And what came out yesterday, I was watching YouTuber Freezy. He has no captivity. And what he did was he went and pulled one of the body cams and he enhanced the audio. And in the audio, you get to hear what Karmelo's team didn't even utilize.
And why wouldn't his team utilize that? Because they were part of the takedown. Okay, in my opinion, and allegedly. Okay, so Pathway says, did they check the knife for Karmelo's fingerprints? I don't know. I didn't hear anything about that, but that is a question that I asked myself, beloved, okay, weeks ago. I don't know, but they never said anything about that. And here's the thing, even if they did, they didn't enter it into evidence, the tool that was used. They didn't even enter that in as evidence. So even if they had taken fingerprints, it wouldn't even have made any sense. But they didn't say anything about fingerprints, which leads me to think that they absolutely did not. Makes me think they absolutely did not. And that's why I don't think that Karmelo is the one who did it. I think Eddie did it. That's my opinion.
During this trial, they didn't utilize the ability for him to have a defense. And whenever and I'm anxious before we actually get into the video, if you have a defendant that is on video and officers have him under arrest, well, not under arrest, have him in handcuffs, he's not free to leave, he's a minor, there's a serious crime that has been committed. You have a lot of kids around, so you have to make sure that you contain the scene. If you get a video where your client is in that state and makes certain statements, and the statements are, the first statement he made was, I was just trying to protect myself. And this is after the police say that he's a suspect. And then there's another statement that after they say he's a suspect again, he says, I know I'm not guilty.
Hold on, let me address this response. Brenda McAllister says, I'm sure they checked for prints as well as whose blood was on it and his hand. Standard procedures. Well, it is standard procedure, but they didn't follow standard procedures. Okay, do you not understand that after all of these videos that have been done by different people, beloved? What I'm saying to you is, yes, that is standard procedure. Okay, I went to school and college for criminal justice, so I know the procedures. Yes, these are the things they're supposed to do. That doesn't mean that they did them, so you don't know for sure. Okay, because they didn't do everything they were supposed to do. At the end of the day, that's why they didn't even bring the main part of the evidence, the weapon that was used to take Austin's life. They didn't bring that to court. That's standard procedure. Okay, so my point is, if they didn't even bring it to court, the main thing, that's real crazy. And they showed a picture. If they didn't even do that, then how do you know for certain that they checked it for fingerprints and blood evidence? I don't think they did. Because if they were that lackadaisical and they just chose not to bring it to cover up something, would they really do anything to further prove that Karmelo is the one who had his hands on that? Because I don't think that he had his hands on it. I think that the one that was put in that trash, I think that's the weapon. That's what I think. Now, I could be wrong, but then again, I could be absolutely right. But what I do know is they did not follow standard procedure. And that's why we're all going through this whole entire thing with a fine-tooth comb and trying to piece together the puzzle, beloved. Okay? Because they didn't do that. And also, by the way, I pointed out days ago that the blood that was on Karmelo's hand was his own. Okay, if you zoom in and look closely, I showed a picture of it up close. That was a slit in his middle finger, and the blood coming from it was his own blood, not Austin's. Okay, so definitely they should have taken blood samples. They should have collected anything at the scene, blood, fiber, all of that. They should have checked Karmelo's clothing for fibers from Austin's. They should have done a myriad of things. But I'm sure they didn't do any of it. I'm willing to bet they didn't, because nobody has mentioned any of that stuff being mentioned at the trial. Nobody said anything about that. And I'm sure somebody would have said something. Okay. I'm sure somebody would have said something about these particular things as it pertains to evidence discussed at the trial. Another thing is, if they did do those things and follow standard procedure, they would have also known to have expert witnesses. Where's the forensics person who would have talked about the blood, okay, and other things, and any fibers or whatnot? They didn't have any of those. The only expert that they had was the medical examiner, who testified as to the autopsy report and the size of the wound and all of that. But they didn't follow standard procedure. That's what they didn't do.
He put his hands on me. What would you naturally do from that standpoint? And what steps would you take with that piece of evidence, whether to make the determination where a motion to suppress needs to be filed, or what would you do?
So another thing, you just made me think about something, Brenda. The picture of the knife that they used in court. Now, I wonder, and I'm going to ask someone who was there when I get a chance, did that picture have blood on the knife? Because the knife should have been bloody if it was plunged into Austin's chest. The picture of the knife, because that's all they showed. They didn't bring in the real thing. So on the picture of the knife that they showed, did that even have any blood on it? Because if the real knife that was used had blood on it, then surely the picture of that knife should have had blood on it. So I'm just wondering, did they even present that? I'll bet you they didn't. I will bet you, I'm willing to bet that they did not. This thing is a whole sham from beginning to end.
So for sure, motion to suppress, there was no Miranda rights read immediately when you're calling him a suspect instantly, and he's making these, statements. He's what we call excited utterances, or
isn't that what I told you all? Okay, isn't that what I told you all? Excited utterances. Remember, I told you all that. Now, this lady right here is a lawyer. I don't know if she's a lawyer or not, but I know this lady is. Okay, with that all being said, it's exactly what I told you all. That was an excited utterance when he said, I'm not alleged, I did it. Okay, and Mike Howard could have gotten that thrown out, but he didn't get that thrown out because he was throwing the case on purpose, in my opinion. But let's continue.
Then it's just a state of mind where he is, right? Like, they can try their best, but again, he's also a minor. I do juvenile as well, and as a minor, you start in that status. They knew they were at an event that was for minors. He was a minor. They knew that. You can't even talk to him without legal counsel present. Like, instantly, any statement made at that point, they cannot do. They're not allowed to utilize that right then and there, because he was a minor, and the officer never tried to stop him. But also, the moment he was put in handcuffs, and over the radio, the person saying, I have the suspect. Oh, he's under arrest. He's not free to go.
And that is also, in my opinion, why they didn't immediately contact Karmelo Anthony's parents. Okay, I do believe they said the mother received an email, but they didn't tell his parents right away. They didn't even know where he was. Now, of course, they contacted Austin's parents right away, and Hunter was there, of course, so they got word right away. But Karmelo's family didn't know right away. And the longer the parents didn't know, the longer the time they had with Karmelo in their custody, and they were able to question him. They were able to interrogate him without a guardian or parent in his presence. Okay, so that's all shady. When you're questioning a minor, you see, this is how they did the Central Park 5. I want you all to pay attention. For the naysayers who think, oh, you all are covering up for a murderer, you're defending a murderer. Let me tell you something, Black people. We know that they do this. They've done this before in this country, and they continue to do it. And by that, I mean railroading Black people. The Central Park 5, they were done the same way. Hauled off, taken into custody by the police, and questioned and interrogated without their parents or guardians being present. Okay? And that's not supposed to happen. But let's continue.
Natural arrest, whether you had cuffs on you or not, if they even have you in their hand, you're obviously guiding you to a certain area, they're telling you where to go. He's not even supposed to talk. They're not even supposed to say anything. So I'm instantly attacking any encounter from the beginning. He's not getting any bit of that, should not even come in. And they used all of that. None of that should have came in. They knew he was a minor.
That's what I said. Just looking at the video, and we're gonna play it, but just looking at the video, one, understanding he's a minor. And I recall when I was a magistrate judge in Tarrant County, we had, what was it? I worked the 11 to, was I on a different shift? I was on the midnight to 8 shift. And there was a murder that happened where it was a 16-year-old that had unalived his grandfather who took care of him. He was a pillar in the community. And I get the call that I had to go and do what we would consider from that standpoint of down and out. But making sure the minor knows his right and know that he has the right not to make any statement, and making sure he understands from a minor standpoint, not an adult. And we had to do a thorough, the protocol was very strict and it had to be recorded so that it's a record that shows that this individual was counseled by the resident magistrate that was on duty at the time when this crime occurred, so that on down the line, if there's an issue with the individual making statements, you have it in writing, you have it videoed. So when I saw that, I was like, this is also Collin County, and the triple threat normally operates from the same sense. I was bothered even at the thought that this officer knew that he was making these statements and he did not do anything to stop it. He didn't say it because he was intentional about that. I knew what he was doing. He was not trying to stop Karmelo to protect Karmelo's constitutional rights. He was being, just like they all are in Collin County, letting people talk so that they can utilize that on the back end, and they just pray that they don't have an attorney that is going to challenge that, because it would have been a dog out fight. And the way these prosecutors was performing, they would have got that kick. Even if the judge did not agree, the record was going to be very clear.
Right.
So I know it bothered me seeing that, and I'm just sitting back like, defense, y'all ain't even.
Emma is 57 and she's starting Chinese walking today. Skeptical.
Yeah, it instantly took away his right to adjust his defense, right? And his perception of what happened is in the moment, right? So he could have possibly not have even done what he thinks he did. He could have possibly not have. He was solidified right then that he was stuck there because they allowed that statement. Not only that, they talked about his statement that day. Absolutely should not have been in the media. He is a minor. And his name shouldn't have been out there. Nothing should have been out there. In Maryland, for sure, I know they have what they call a YAC hotline. That means all around the clock, there are public defenders who immediately, when these people are detained, they call and they have to get on there and be like, look, you're not to say anything. This is your rights. But the police officers know as soon as they get their age, boom, the conversation is over. First of all, they're not even worried about it. They find out immediately, you look like you're young, you're a minor. We can't say anything else. Don't say anything else. They're not even going to try. They're going to call your parents. They're going to, bring them where they are. They are not supposed to have a conversation with a minor. And then to put his statements out day one was insane, because They knew he was a minor. This is y'all the whole hype of it being a track event. Why would a kid bring something to a track event? A student do that. The mere fact that he's a student lets you know he was a minor. So it didn't even make sense why they were putting all that information out. But
right, because if that had been a white teenager, they would not have released any of that information. Now I'm going to fast forward to where they play that video with the enhanced audio. Likes up, everyone. Please don't forget to like and share. Thank you in advance.
Here we go.
Hold on.
And I'm just protecting myself.
Down there, where do you want me? If somebody is shooting the victim, they need to be over there. Don't reach for anything. Stop right there for me.
I also raised the point where he said, I know I'm not guilty. Let's see if we can hear this a little more clearer. Here we go.
Dispatch 443. I got the suspects. And they're currently treating the victim. Again, he's on the north end of the stadium. All right. Any weapons on you like that? I'll look here.
How long? He put his hands on me. I know I'm not.
Did you hear what he said? He put his hands on me. I know I'm not guilty. So we have, I was protecting myself. We have, he put his hands on me. I know I'm not guilty. But they never include that part. They always say, well, he admitted that he murdered. No, he did not. He never admitted he murdered anyone. Anyone. Karmelo Anthony never admitted that he murdered anyone. He actually told the officer he was protecting himself and he knows he's not guilty. This is the enhanced version, the enhanced audio version that I just did in real time in front of y'all. Here we go again.
Hold on.
And I'm just protecting myself.
Down there, where do you want me? Hold on.
And I'm just protecting myself.
Down there, where do you want me? Hold on.
And I'm just protecting myself.
He actually said, and I was just protecting myself, and I was just protecting myself, and I was just protecting myself. He said, and I was just protecting myself. He didn't say I was protecting myself. He said, and I was just. Do you know what just means? What does the word just indicate? It indicates that's all he was doing. He didn't murder nobody. He wasn't trying to kill nobody. The only thing what just does, when he used the word just, that means that he's secluded. He only was protecting himself. That's it. Only. Nothing more, nothing more. Nothing.
So with that all being said, that basically shows the intent, that there was no intent to murder him. There was no mens rea or actus rea. Okay, I want y'all to pay attention. This is all very important. See, this is why, Mike Howard didn't do his job. Now, he should have had a self-defense expert to come in. He should have had a psychologist come in to attest to his mindset, like I told you all. And then had he had this audio enhanced and played, which is what he was supposed to do as an attorney. All of these little breadcrumbs that we're all finding and piecing together ourselves, the defense was supposed to do all of this, but they didn't. Okay, Mike Howard and Toby Shook failed to do their fiduciary duties. Okay, this is legal malfeasance. Okay, that is exactly what this is. Let's keep listening. Likes up, everyone. Please don't forget to like and share. Thank you.
Nothing less. Only protecting himself. He didn't include murder. He didn't include anything else. He said that he just was protecting himself, and that's it. That's it. Because Karmelo said cognitively that he, for those that are spreading this vicious rumor that he just admitted to being guilty, no, he didn't. He actually said he wasn't guilty and that he was protecting himself. That's what he admitted to the cops. Yes, I'm not alleged I did it, but I was protecting myself and I know I'm not guilty.
You know, I had to gather my lace up here because it started slipping. Because, you know, it starts slipping when the truth starts coming. And people don't like the truth. People that have an agenda don't like the truth. And what is sick about that is you have these overgrown, overprocessed prosecutors that would rather think and contaminate the truth than let the truth and the facts be judged on its merit, because they know they could not win. They knew they could not win with this video. That's why they didn't pay any attention to the enhancing it. They did not play this back and forth. A real defensive team or a defense attorney is going to do exactly what Freezy did. They're going to play it back until the jury understands what this really is. If a judge is going to allow a video like this with statements to come in, what is going to happen is a true defense attorney is going to use it to its advantage. And he's going to turn it into their evidence. Because it's no longer state's evidence when my client, one, y'all didn't suppress the statements that were being made. Okay, well, guess what? I'm going to turn it into my evidence. This is my courtroom now. Defense ready? Defense been ready. Let's go. So from your standpoint, what is your take on that particular piece of evidence? Why the state did not enhance the visibility of those statements if the judge was going to allow it to come in, and the fatal mistake that the defense made?
So this is crazy. It's timely because in the same week, again, I was trying the 14-year-old. And the entire time we were prepping up to this case, they dumped me with discovery, and there was the video of the angle of, in my case, the shooting that occurred. And my client kept saying, I didn't shoot first. It was self-defense. It was self-defense. But this one video, the video they charged the case on, the video they did his transfer, but the way we're hearing to see if he's going to be up or down on use, that video looked like my client just ran up to somebody and shot him. And I kept saying, oof, but the offers were so bad. I was just like, okay, you never had prior, never even should have been in adult court, but here we are. And I remember asking my former legal law clerk to go through every single video and pull every angle, and I want every single one. So I'm in the 11th hour going through every single video, and the same one, there's 2 videos for the same angle. One video is the one they charged with, and the other video was one that was very clear. And you can zoom in on the technology. You can go frame by frame. And if I had not did frame by frame, like going very slow or zooming or finding that video, it was at least 60 videos, right? Like of this entire area, right? You had to go through everything, hours and hours. If I had not done that, the state at no point even had saw the video. It was clear that the officers didn't either, right? They get up, their whole opening was based on the first one. And I said, no, there is video and it's very clear.
Okay, I want you all to pay attention, and that absolutely is something that can happen. Okay, so I'm going to wrap this up, but I just want you all to pay attention because Mike Howard absolutely should be in jail as far as I'm concerned. Okay, the very least, he should definitely be disbarred and no longer allowed to practice law. Okay, also, there should be a civil suit against him from Karmelo's family, from his parents. They should sue him because anytime a lawyer intentionally loses or sabotages their own client's case, that is legal malfeasance. That is called legal malpractice. That is a breach of fiduciary duty. Okay, that is considered severe attorney misconduct, and there are consequences. Even criminal charges can be pressed. They could lose their license, like I said, and there could be civil lawsuits, and he should get, in my opinion, all of the above, because that's exactly what he did. Okay, that's exactly what he did. Now, I'll say allegedly just for the sake of saying it, because I can't prove it, But at the end of the day, that's so obvious and so blatantly clear. This is the same attorney who's been voted the best criminal defense attorney in Dallas 10 years in a row. And I keep saying that because this is to let you know that this man is not incompetent. He's not an incompetent attorney. He acted incompetently because he didn't want to win this case. Because some sort of backdoor deal was clearly made. Okay, some sort of backdoor deal was clearly made, in my opinion. It was very, very unethical how he carried on. Okay, very unethical. I wonder how they got hooked up with Mike Howard in the first place. I'm gonna see if I can find that out today. I'm gonna talk to a couple of folks. But anyway, this is all so crazy. So there's the new evidence right there. You literally hear him say, okay, I was just defending myself. That absolutely does speak to whether or not there was criminal intent. Okay, he was simply trying to defend himself. They didn't play that out there. They made it sound like he made a full-on confession. Okay, so anyway, that all been said, I'm going to conclude this broadcast. I want to thank you all for tuning in. Please like, share, subscribe. Okay, each one teach one. But listen, oh, by the way, I will be back later on today, beloveds, probably around 6, okay? Probably around 6 or 6:30, I'll be back. And I think I'm going to upload. Hold on, there's something I want you all to see. Hold on, there's something I want you all to see before I roll out of here. Hold on just a second. Hold on just a second. Let me pull this up real quick. Lights up, everyone. Please like and share. Because I just want you all to see how the devils are just getting so out of pocket. They are just getting so out of pocket. I'm like asking myself, who in the hell do they think they are? Okay? Hold on. First of all, you have this Karen confronting people's children. I don't know who she thought she was. But then you have this wanton supremacist who looks like, I'm not even going to say what he looks like, but he confronts these Black college students. Now, they have their own businesses, and they're going from door to door, putting their flyers on the doors. And so I just want you all to hear how he talks to them and how he's asking them all these questions, interrogating them as if they owe him an explanation. Okay? I don't know who some of these people really think they are. Now, listen to this. And they were being so
Everybody starts at 0, and your attitude makes you go up or down.
Yes, sir.
It's real simple. I know it is. It's ready to fucking. It's always ready to shoot.
Yeah.
Like, that's crazy, you know.
Show me your business card.
Oh, we have them right there. So I don't believe this is to be necessary, but I don't appreciate how you came up to me like that. We could have handled it.
Well, how come you're all going door to door? Why you just pick a random houses?
Well, because there's some people without cars.
Some people with cars, like some people don't have cars, some people do have cars, and our specific service is cleaning cars, mobile detailing. We take it to.
Now, I want you all to notice that he has a gun in his hand while he's interrogating them. This is harassment, okay? And this is intimidation. He has a gun in his hand, has a gun drawn. Okay, he should be arrested for brandishing that weapon. First of all, like I said, they were minding their own business. I think only one of them is Black, but nonetheless, who is he to be interrogating them like that? Standing there with his hand on his hip as though they have to answer to him. Oh, honey, thank God this never happened to my sons, because what I tell you...
them rather than having to go to a shop.
Okay, well, my car's right there. You walk right by me. Why didn't you stop and ask me?
Because we started on the end of the neighborhood, and we're coming around. We're just checking it out.
That's the only reason why I didn't go upstairs either, sir. I was actually just checking out
the window cleaning.
I was just checking out the garage.
I can tell you're checking out the homes. I want to know why.
Yes, sir.
First of all, I wouldn't give a F what he wants, but look at him. He's the one that looks suspicious in a nice neighborhood. They don't look suspicious. He does. He looks like a bum off the streets. He looks like somebody who's without home, who's unhoused. Okay, he looks unhoused clearly and dirty. Okay, when's the last time he had a shower or a bath? I have several questions. But he wants to say they look suspicious and wants to interrogate them. I'd have been interrogating his behind, gun or not.
I understand why you'd be worried, but we don't have any bad intentions at all, sir. We just wanted to, we're just young kids, we're college kids trying to make money this summer.
I understand that.
Nothing on our record. If you want to look it up, you got IDs.
I bet you he didn't go to college. And then listen to how polite and respectful they're talking. But he's still giving them the business.
I'll look it up.
All right, well,
I can tell you.
Can you please put that away?
If you want to fuck people,
we're not fucking with nobody.
You got the wrong fucking street.
We're not.
You got me?
I mean, just so uncalled for, okay? Who does he think he is, honey? Some of these people are just the most. But hold on. Now, I want you all to see this, where this guy called, this store owner called a black woman. Oh, no. Hold on. Let's go to Eric Stone first. I meant to show you all this yesterday. Now, you know how some people sit there and smile in our face and do our dances and all of that and act like they're so down with us, but call us N-words behind our backs, right? Yeah. So let's go to this video where Eric Stone, y'all know that he's always exposing these racists and the people who like the racist people's comments, because if you're liking their comments, then that means you're racist too. Okay, so this dude has been cutting hair. He's a barber. He's been cutting black men's hair. And even some of the New York Knicks players, some of the New York Knicks. Okay? Now watch him get exposed. Likes up, everyone, please like and share.
So this white WNBA player, Sophie, was pointing at this black WNBA player, Diwana.
I was just kind of pointing, and she's like, don't you point at me. And I was like, oh, shouldn't have said that. And I didn't say a word.
But I don't care nothing about that. That's just learned behavior from her teammate, Caitlin Clark. What I care about is the comments, chimping out over a finger. But you guys know me. I love to expose the hidden racists, the ones who liked it. Drum roll, please. This guy. Now, Roman is a barber who cuts all these black people's hair. But you know who else he cuts? The New York Knicks, Josh Hart, Jalen Brunson, Karl Anthony Towns. You're not going to be a hidden racist to my team. My Knicks? Hell no. And you live in San Antonio? Oh, San Antonio's taking 2 L's now.
Appreciate y'all. See y'all. Never.
Get them out of here. Oh, and lastly, some of the players and their family members follow me on social, so I'm going to be sure to send this to them so you never have the opportunity to cut their hair ever again.
Okay, isn't that something? He thought that was funny because they said they were chimping out. Now, he's going to tell them when they confront him about it, he's likely going to try to act like it was a joke that I don't find funny. Please pay attention. Now, let's go to this last clip where this man called a black woman a Igor, B-I-T-C-H.
To the Black Queen?
Yeah, I apologize to you. I'm so sorry.
I apologize to the Black Queen.
Yeah, everyone.
Hey, back up. Stay away from this weapon. Back away.
Thank you, sir.
I'm so sorry.
Say I apologize to this Black Queen.
I apologize, guys. I'm so sorry.
To the Black Queen.
I got family.
She's a family of ours. Say I apologize to the Black Queen. Stand down, brother. Say apologize to the Black Queen. To the Black Queen. Black Queen, I want to hear it.
Black Queen.
Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
I want you fired.
I swear to God.
I want you fired.
I got you. I got to call from my
Make sure.
boss right now.
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah. You got to go. You got to go. Do you understand that?
Yes. I got you.
We are not going to have that shit out here.
I got family, brother.
I got a family too, and she's our family. Every woman in this community is our family.
I got friend is black people.
I don't give a damn about your black friend.
I'm not racist, brother.
Well, you shouldn't have called her no black. What did he call you?
A
black bitch, and you're not racist?
I bleeped out the N-word part, but he called her a black jigger, B-I-T-C-H, honey.
Guys, I'm just not doing next time. I swear to God.
It shouldn't be a next time because you're not going to work here.
Hey, are you licensed to carry this weapon?
This is not mine.
So whose weapon is this?
This for my boss, man. It's not to me.
So you're not licensed to carry this weapon?
Hello?
You discharged that weapon, brother?
Of course I did.
Thank you.
Let me call it, man. I'm sorry, brother. I'm just not doing anything.
You come in our community, make money off our community, and then disrespect our women.
I respect everyone.
You didn't respect it that goddamn day.
I swear to God, I respect everyone. I got black friends.
I don't give a fuck about your black friends because you're still disrespecting that black woman.
I'm so sorry.
Lock this fucking door. Come on. Let's go. Come on, brother. Let's go. Let's go.
Were they taking us behind to jail?
How you doing, brother? It's shut down.
They shut him right on down, and that's what he gets. Okay, what was he thinking? Okay, always talking about they have a black friend like that's supposed to make it okay. Please. Okay, if you're talking like that and using the N-word, honey, you're not a friend to any black person. Okay, you're not a friend to any black person. Now, some of these raccoons, okay, may let them say those words around them, but any black person with sense knows better. All right, so anyway, with that all being said, I'm going to conclude this broadcast. Okay, everyone, please like and share. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Be sure to click that notification bell, click the word all, so you're notified each time Queen Goddess goes live. All right, until next time, beloveds, I will talk to you all again soon. Here we go.
Gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you're done. They show no love for the queen. Why you hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans? I got dreams like King Luther, shed blood like Kunta. You ain't helping my people, I ain't got nothing to say to ya. I want all the smoke like hookah. Talking reparations, America won't be great until they give us compensation. I'm like, I'm the hottest right now. See a bunch of lames out here trying to jock on my style. They be doing too much. I'm the queen, it's too easy. It's like they all at Popeyes, how they be talking so greasy. I just sit back and laugh while these haters get madder. So nefarious how they don't want my pockets with cheddar. I tell them they can do better. These snakes in the grass can leave a bite on your ass, cause y'all be trusting too fast. I got my foot on the gas, other one on they necks. Dropping receipts on haters, you better show some respect. I'm never facing regrets, we only facing the threats. Running through every challenge like a relay, break no sweat. It's a cold game, so I got that blanket with me. Now that my people awaken, ain't no going to sleep. I do not play by my piece, this time I'm playing for keeps. You talking slick, but when I see you like them ends, we gon' meet. And I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got gold all in my skin, God all in my blood, kings all in my circle. You touch one of mine and you done. They show no love for the queen. Why they hating on me? Is it cause I'm free and I got Malcolm X in my jeans and I got